Yeah, welcome back. We in the house. Industry Ties, Total Entertainment Radio. I am one of your hosts, Mr. Stout, Kenneth Stout, in the house.
And I am Tiasia Newman. We are glad that you guys are able to join us again on
Yeah,
this rainy day all over the place.
right.
What's her name? Helene. She's
Helene,
giving us a run for our money, though she has been downgraded from a hurricane to now a tropical
tropical
storm.
storm. Yes. Yeah. Yep,
But
and
she,
and and yeah, everybody. I seen some of the shots out there being out here in Atlanta and Buckhead area. I seen that there's a lot of flooding. A lot of people had to evacuate. I hope a lot of people, are being safe. But the streets are definitely quiet. People are definitely listening to the emergency people out there saying, "Hey, stay in the house if you can. If you got to evacuate, evacuate." So I haven't heard any casualties, anything like that as of right now in the Georgia area. I'm not sure as far as things that had happened in the west coast of Florida.
yeah, I think, well, in Georgia, they're going to shut it down anyway.
Yes,
When Mikey went to school in Georgia, it was the craziest thing to me. I mean, if it was too cold, the kids didn't have school. But I get it. They're used to having warm weather. The moms don't automatically have jackets and stuff for the kids. But anything going wrong in Georgia, honey, they shut down. If it ain't sunshine,
right. Yeah,
they are like, we
that's
are not
right.
doing nothing.
Yeah, I hope everybody like gets through for that, and then we get back to the business. Later tomorrow. There's a lot of things going on down here in the Atlanta area and the greater Atlanta area too. Is like for this weekend. So check your local listings. It's going down.
Right. I do know Giovanni Hood, who is the founder of High Point Fashion Week. He has a new TV show on Amazon Prime. I saw that this morning and I was so proud of him.
Nice.
He is amazing. He is also an author. He teaches etiquette um, to children. And he is a
Okay.
father of two daughters, and the girls are amazing. But he does have a new reality show on Amazon TV. Let me just look at, I
Yeah.
mean, what is it called? Amazon Prime?
Amazon Prime.
Yes.
Yeah, that's dope.
Um, yes, it's called Models and the City. Is
Okay.
now available on Amazon Prime Video. So if you guys are watching some stuff on Amazon Prime Video and you do want to support the Black culture, Giovanni Hood has been able to amass a great amount of success on his own,
All right.
just being an amazing, dynamic individual. And he will be providing this platform for models to be in the reality TV sector. So you guys check that out on Amazon Prime TV.
Amazon Prime doing it up. Congratulations, bro.
Yeah, he's amazing. We do just have some honorable mentions because we did have quite a few impactful passings in the
Yeah.
industry this week. Anthony A.J. Johnson,
Oh,
known for his role in the 1995 cult classic Friday, he played the character Ezel. He did pass away on the 21st of this month.
mm,
So we will miss him
yes.
and thank him for bringing so much laughter into
Yeah.
our lives.
Very
And
funny,
then
man.
Catherine Vernice Glover, aka Cat. She is a Chicago
Yo.
native and she worked with Prince as a choreographer in the late 80s. She did some tours with him and also rapped on
Yes.
two of his records. She
Right.
passed away on the 24th this month. And then this morning, Miss Maggie Smith, she passed away. She was the head mistress on Sister Act. And I
Okay.
believe she was in Harry Potter as well. And I'm sure had we known this lady in person, of course, she was in one of the most influential films of the time, which was Sister Act in Sister Act 2. So,
Yeah.
of course, she
Yeah.
would have been invited to the cookout. So, we
Right.
do
Right.
want to say rest in peace to
Rest in peace,
Dame Maggie Smith. She
Maggie
will
Smith.
absolutely be missed. Yes,
Yes, like everyone that was aforementioned as well. Um, it's in our lifetime. It's when we think about the people that we affected us in art and just in life in our lifetime. I'm just happy to have had the time to spend or to watch their art or their work. For all of those who have perished, but also like we had the time to actually to see the things that they do, like to be in their lifetime. So I'm always happy for that, to be joyful for that when it goes to hearing about something that's like, as sad as, we've lost that person, but we keep them in our spirit. So that's peace.
definitely. Um, Now, the city of New York. My goodness.
Oh,
When I tell you that I don't think we would have ever
New
been able to
York.
prepare ourselves for the amount of major shifts that are happening in the world. I think that it was easier and
What is
safer
going
for
on?
us to just acknowledge the shift that were happening in the music industry just because we would be directly affected by it. But at this point, it's contagious in every sector. The New York mayor, Eric Adams, has turned himself in
Yeah.
after he was indicted on 5 charges by the federal government. He stands accused of accepting $123,000 in luxury gifts, obtaining $10 million in public funds. The 51-page indictment alleges bribery, fraud, and foreign donations. Adams attempted to hold a press conference surrounded by clergy and supporters that was promptly interrupted by protesters. This event took place just 1 hour before the indictment was to be unsealed and its contents to be released to the public. I actually was trying to watch it. I was all geared up to hear what it was that he had to say. And when it first started, you can kind of hear like it was a lot of noise in the background, and
Mhm.
then all of the lives literally went silent. Like, so they disrupted the lives on purpose so the people who were watching couldn't tell what was going on. Because I was originally on CNN.
Okay.
I left from CNN and I went to I think like ABC, and the same thing was going on. So I was like, oh, I'll just have to try to watch it later, not knowing the reason why they killed the sound on all those live feeds was because of the crazy things that these people were yelling. As soon as he started, they were immediately protesting. So it
Oh.
looks like he was under the guise thinking that a lot of the people in the audience were there to support him. Turns out a lot of them were just waiting for him to start talking so that they could actually voice their disdain for him.
Oh. It's it's crazy for what's going on. It's a spotlight on New York in the southern part of New York, southern Manhattan, for a very long time. It's just like what has been happening in the business world or in the government, for a very long time. We've been hearing it. It's been in the news, it's been in the major news, um, for a long time. Like things been happening for a very long time out there, and to hear about Mayor Eric Adams, what he's been doing, a lot of people knew what he was doing.
Right.
You don't let somebody get away with something like that. You keep in case you keeping it away from the public, but you already know. So you maybe is just as guilty as him by
Definitely.
doing what he was, letting him getting away with the things he was doing when you already been building this stuff up. Because listening to the reports, what they were saying and everything about what was going on, you would have had to known what this man was doing. This wouldn't just drop in your hand. You just can't drop a 500-page indictment on somebody if you didn't know what was going on beforehand. We'll say, okay, we
Yeah.
can't tell him, but he already knows.
Mhm.
Mayor Adams already knew what the hell was going on.
Yeah, he did an interview. Actually, they had the clips up this morning with the Breakfast Club saying, and this was before they actually raided his house. He was saying that there's a war against black governors. I believe he mentioned like Texas, and like 5 other places whose governor is under an intense amount of scrutiny. But we also have to remember too, his house was raided
Yeah.
last year, where they took every kind of electronic device that he did have. They confiscated it.
Right.
So now we're seeing the actual indictment come out. We can also call attention to the fact that they did actually want him to retract the key to the city that they did give to, he did award to P. Diddy, and he refused to
Yeah.
do that. And so I'm sure that that
Mhm.
might be a part of his problems, or at least exactly why it's being done so fast. I did just find out this morning that the if you request a speedy trial when you have charges from the feds, they have up to 70 days to create their case and be able to have you in front of a judge. But we can just, I mean, it's the truth, and you already said it. It's really going to, all these things that we're getting ready to see in the days to come are going to be about the complete structure of what it is that they're doing. He's not the only person that's doing any of this
That's
shit that they're
right.
talking about. They
Exactly.
absolutely knew that he was doing it. It's just that they need something to hold over his head. I said it on 10.1 The Fam last week,
Hmm.
and Charlemagne the of God said it this morning. If they go into your closet to look for skeletons, if it's nothing there, you won't have no problems. But if they go in there and you got the skeletons in there, they are going to be able to screw you. The people who go
Exactly.
along to get along, it only works for a certain amount of time, because as soon as you stop going along, y'all stop getting
Exactly.
along.
Oh,
So, I mean, it's a choice that you make from the very beginning of what it is that you know what I'm saying, you're going to do. But
yeah.
come on, he can't possibly be, come on. Hey,
Yeah.
basically,
He's not the only guy.
so I did watch the breakdown with Jesse Weber. He does Law and Crime, the YouTube channel,
Okay.
and he's basically saying that it's a common thing. So, for example, because they put the indictment in such technical words, but our fast way to understand it is that if you're the mayor and somebody wants to do a building contract and their permits take a certain amount of time, or
Yeah.
they might not be able to get it approved, they're paying him a certain amount of money for their stuff to automatically be pushed through. Like, and I'm
All
sure it's
right.
something, come on, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
so yeah. He actually did surrender himself this morning, though. They didn't ask. I mean, I think his time that once they did read the indictment was for him to actually turn himself in on next Thursday. But he went in this morning to be arraigned. So
Oh man.
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not too familiar with him. So some of the things like who is he?
Mayor Art Adams, he is the
Oh no,
mayor
I'm talking
of
about
New York.
Adam. I was talking about Mary. I was talking about somebody else. Oh yeah,
No,
yeah.
no, no. It's still him.
Okay, yeah, yeah. He's gonna be in a lot of situations. I don't know who's the deputy mayor. I'd like to know who that is because I know he's gonna lose his position. They're gonna probably want to force him up out of that office. Because we're not in a mayoral voting time, right?
Yeah.
This is for the president. So
Hmm.
next year, but he's probably gonna have to resign a little bit, a little bit early. You're getting
I
convicted.
Yeah, I definitely did see that the actual governor, she has the right to take him out of office.
All
So
right.
even if he doesn't decide to step down himself,
Yeah.
he could actually remove him due
Right.
to the egregious allegations against him as far as his position is concerned. But you never know.
Yeah,
So
man. Wow. That's a lot right there. What's going on?
yeah.
Our society and our public world is just so crazy right now. People from other countries are actually saying like, "Yo, what's going on with y'all? Like, what's the problem?" They're watching this like, "Man, yeah, it's like WWF over there, WWE." I don't
I
know.
mean, but I did hear a clip of Donald Trump saying like, we have to make people fear America again, because I think some country threatened him, and he was like, we need people to fear America. And it's just like, you really don't. People only attack things that they're scared of. I don't want to fight no female that's scared of me, because if she's
Yeah.
scared of me, then anything she gonna do anything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, if you
Right.
just feel like you bold, you gonna talk crazy to me, then all right, let me see me. But if you feel like you're actually scared of me, first of all, you don't get no cool points for going against nobody that's scared of you, because obviously they're scared, so it don't even make sense. But on top of that, it's just like, you never know what people will do when they find themselves in fear.
Yeah.
So I don't think that makes sense. But what's going to happen, the days to come are really going to tell the story of what a lot of the industries here in this country have been built on, which is disillusion, it's
Yeah.
deceit, it's manipulation, it's a lot of negative things that
Yeah.
really, the chickens have to come home to roost. You only can get back the energy you put out. I don't care
Facts.
how long, baby, you get away with it, it's going to come back on you. Um, and with that being said, as far as other people in other countries having so many negative thoughts about what we have going on here in the United States, we have actually been tremendously distracted with all of the things that are happening with
Yeah.
Sean P. Diddy Combs.
Yeah.
And I think that it was absolutely a strategy as to why these things happen with him so quickly, why we're seeing the downfall of Eric Adams. I mean,
Yeah.
they are kind of going through a timeline, though they may not ever say it. If we had one, you could make a timeline of how the federal government is actually breaking down the structures
Yeah.
of every genre of business that's built on bullshit.
Right.
It's happening.
It's happening.
Um,
And people who are
yeah.
paying attention, excuse me, those are the ones that are saying like, you're woke, or you're starting
Hmm.
to like, find out these things that you didn't know what was going on, because actually people were like, to be blinded to certain things, it's like, oh, I don't know about it, I don't care about it, so it doesn't pertain to me, but it actually does.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And then once they find out that, well, this you talk about me, all right, you know what I mean? So it's like, this is affecting me. Now it's like, let me find out why these things are happening. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's a total problem. So they want to be able to like hush that up as much as as possible, and they'll go by any means to make that happen. All right, so do know that when you do know something about what's going on with the the untruths, and the trickery. Once you start to know and understand what those things mean, or how this happening, how it's affecting you, then you're gonna look like, man, I've been used for so long. You're gonna feel some type of way, and that's what's going on in this society. That people are like, man, I can actually look at what's going on and find out for myself, and tell you like, this is what you've been doing to me, and now you're like, no, no, it wasn't. Create these new laws so you can't learn about what's going on, so you keep everything covered up, and that's the part of what we're dealing with in society and in the industry. You seeing
Hmm.
it. That's what's going on. It's not the purity of you just saying, "Hey, I want to go see an artist perform and do a song and do it. I want to get into this music industry and go just support somebody and see their career grow." No, now you got
Right.
to go through all of these other little channels, or these doors, or these different things, and it's just like, no. We want to make it a way so that we can do it for ourselves, and that's what this is about. What we talk about industry ties, no doubt. I love these conversations that we have, because it's about we letting our people know that this is what's going down, and I can dig it, no doubt.
Definitely. I feel like it's a tale as old as time. They've been doing this for years. I mean, but here we are in 2024. I have a quote here from Malcolm X that says, "If you're not careful, the newspaper will have you hating the people who are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppressing." And it's pretty much exactly what's going on. And it doesn't matter whether or not they are in the wrong. I don't care if R. Kelly was wrong. I don't care if P. Diddy was wrong. I don't care if Eric Adams is wrong. The basis of what it was that they did was they built them black men up so that they can tear their asses down in the public of people to make sure that they send out a message, which is,
Yeah,
if you do not go along with what it is that we want you to do, we will give you a life that you cannot imagine not having, and then strip it from you in front of your children and all of the people who you feel are your peers and your fans, and we
yeah,
will leave you with nothing.
right. Completely tear you down.
Still slave mentality. Oh yes, master.
And that's the power that some people can't not imagine to have. That's why we, even with these things, when it's going to the presidency of that nature, it doesn't matter who you're voting for. It's more about, this is a thing of power that you is unimaginable, a source of power when it goes to anything like that. So even for him being an artist or a producer, who else in that camp, when it went to, with Puff, with P. Diddy, with the things they were doing, who else had that type of an amount of accumulated wealth?
Right.
Of
Yep.
all those artists, just think, go way back. It doesn't matter. Like, just go through that whole catalog. Just do the one to that. But yeah, that's why we gonna get on their ass though. That's what it's about.
Mm-hmm. Yep, definitely. Um, so we want to take a little time to pay some bills over here at Total Entertainment
Oh
Radio.
yeah.
You guys be sure to stay tuned with myself, Tiasia Newman, and my guy, Mr. Stout,
Oh
and we will be
yeah.
right back to you.
Gonna turn up. Let's come get some. Welcome back to Total Entertainment Radio. Industry ties in the house. Your man, Mr. Stout. Also with Tiasia Newman. Got some more great information for you guys, and we'll talk about it right now.
Yes, Justin Johnson has been sentenced to life in prison for the murder of Memphis rapper Young Dolph. On November 17, 2021, A. Dolph Thornton was Adolph Thornton Jr. was gunned down in front of Makita's Cookies and on Airway Highway in Memphis. Johnson claimed he only received $500 of the $100,000 payoff for Dolph's murder. And now they were actually in court, literally telling on each other. So
Wow.
this young man, Justin, has just sacrificed the rest of his life for $500 that he could have made standing in front of the damn cookie store. I mean, let's just be real.
Yeah, I mean, but even with that story, because it was a huge case, a national, international case. I remember when it was going down. I remember when I seen what they had. We was actually like, my wifey Patricia and Goins, man. I remember she was like really watching what the whole case was, how different things were happening, the shooters, people who had different cameras from different angles. Like I remember seeing like all the different things that was happening with that, and this man only got $500. I'm saying that he was set up by who? Like who set that up for to
Who
give him
was
$150,000 to
another somebody else that had that kind of bread? I don't know the exact name of the person. I'm sure it was revealed in the trial, but I
yeah
did not watch it. Um, but he was killed in his city. You know what I'm saying? So regardless to whomever paid the money for the actual hit, it's more about crabs in a barrel mentality. Instead of
yeah
you holding up your town hero, y'all decided that he should die and in his own city. There's no reason why anybody that was in Memphis didn't actually tear that city apart to find out who took that man's life. I mean, come on, bro.
I had so many questions once I seen what was going on with that, and like they never spoken to the people in the cookie store,
I,
and
I I don't know that that's still the case just because the trial has already happened.
yeah,
So like probably early on in the investigation, but I doubt that the people inside were not called as witnesses. Like I'm sure
yeah, I
that
guess they
they
want to
had.
be anonymous. Yeah, I get
Mhm.
that part. Yeah, um, but
But
yeah, that is the crabs in the barrel thing. That's facts for that right there. For something like for somebody who's an artist that had an impact on his city. Why
yeah,
would you want to tear that down? Why would you want to build that up?
right. And then too, it goes another conspiracy theory. We'll just call it a conspiracy theory that went into the death of young Dolph was that he was signed to Empire Records, and we all know
Yeah.
the fate of artists signed to Empire Records. So,
That's even with that storyline for that right there. Like some people who had Empire Distribution. I was one of the artists who actually worked with them from that. I never really had was deep enough to be like to who like the CEOs or the heads of people stuff like that. But then your deal can get shopped around for distribution to somewhere else. I think
mhm.
that Dolph was doing his own thing. So they've
Yeah,
been after him from a while ago. I think he was in an incident out there in LA or something like that. Like, a few years prior to, like, I don't know like the timeline, but he was into something out there back then, where somebody shot up his car, something. He may have had bulletproof windows. Like he was in some sort of mess with the people who were hating on him from way back because of who he was
yeah.
doing. So then as he started to really get a grip of where he was going, they like took away to try to shut him down. There's other people's names that's a part of it, that's like it's not necessary to like really talk about who these people are, just like but in their city they know, like
Mhm.
it's so that kind of thing. When it goes to the industry, I'm just like kind of like we're done with that. Like it's time to get, like, to get a little bit stronger and stop trying to shut everybody down.
Yeah, but I definitely know that, the strategy as far as that, because when it comes to Empire Record, that's more, it's not to say that they did anything to have him killed. It's about the strategy that they use when it comes to the artists that they choose to sign.
Yeah,
They
that part. Yeah,
particularly seek out artists who did have a very dangerous street life, and then they do give them tons of money, and they put insurance policies on them in case of their
yeah,
death, and they choose people who are more likely to die by the gun. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a big difference between Tupac Shakur and Suge Knight. Tupac Shakur was not a street dude, okay?
No.
He might have did a little bit of hustling, but Tupac still went to the school of arts, you know what I'm saying? He was highly intelligent. He was not no street guy. Now he got wrapped up with Suge Knight, who was a street guy, and they didn't protect him from the street life. They offered him up as a sacrifice. I mean, I don't care what anybody says, nobody could tell me anything different. That's exactly what they did. And I feel like that speaks is a testament to the strategy that Empire Records used when it comes to them signing their artists. They particularly choose artists that are deep in the street life. They give them a ton of money that they know they have no money management skills.
Yeah.
And then they know that they are likely to die by the gun. And when they're dumb enough to actually do it, they benefit from it because they have insurance policies from them. And I
Wow.
also know that young Dolph did actually own his masters. Um, and so his family will still be well taken care of. His sister did do a press conference this morning and asked that we, the public, remember her brother for the art that he was able to give the world, and not for the devastation surrounding his untimely death. So
Yeah.
we do want to remember young Dolph and the music that he was able to give to a
Yeah,
generation.
dog. Big up, man.
Definitely. So we do want to take some time. You
Yeah.
guys make sure you stay tuned with us on Industry Ties with myself, Tiasia Newman, and my guy, Mr. Stout, powered by Total Entertainment
Yeah.
Radio. We'll be right
Yeah.
back to you.
Word up. Welcome back to Executive, pardon me, Industry Ties on Total Entertainment Radio with Joe's Mr. Stout and Tiasia Newman.
So at this point, everybody can probably tell that we have far too many outlets that we work with. We just they,
Yes.
we're running together at this point. But that and it brings us right to what is going on. That some things they serve as a distraction, because we have so much going on that it's hard to keep our heads straight, and because there's so much going on in the media, it's hard for you guys to concentrate on the things that make sense and what we should be focusing on. Because while the world is distracted with P Diddy's fall from grace, a number of countries have dropped the US dollar. The
Yeah.
number of countries that have dropped the US dollars have grown to 159 countries, and is growing rapidly.
Yeah.
It is a staggering 0.42% in recent months that the other countries are now rejecting our currency. Also, many CEOs of large companies are sneaking out of the back door while the feds are coming in the front.
Yeah.
And while many of us in the culture could care less, we will not know who the president of the United States will be on November 5th, since the decision has been made to count each ballot manually. So, those are three very big things that are going on while everybody is worried about Kim Porter's book and all the people that P. Diddy was sleeping with and drugging. It's much bigger. You know what I'm saying? Because even
Yeah.
though, yes, we care about his victims and all the things that he was able to do, but at the same time, when he goes to jail, we'll forget about it. The story will only last as long as people's fat. You know what I'm saying? But when you want to go out of the country to go and visit and they don't want to take your money, that's going to last far longer than P.
Oh
Diddy's
yeah.
trial.
That
So
situation, you don't want to be in another country where your money is not accepted.
right.
So that's a big deal. There's a lot of people travel out there. I know people go, they travel, go out the country, go out the world, like whatever. So you need to know what's going on in that, the way that's going on in that politics, for that. If you are traveling, and how the way you can spend money. We already having these things going on with the was the BRICS? I think it was BRICS, Brexit or something like that. I forget how the way you pronounce it, but they also, I think it's called BRICS.
Mhm.
But that's the the numbers. I mean, things are gonna be changed digitally, like because people already doing the things for their cards. So now people are gonna be actually like putting their money in these coins and all that kind of stuff. Where your money's, the value is gonna be changed. So we're gonna have a lot of situations going on in that money world that we're living in. Economics is like, it's changed. It's going to change, and even more is going to come down to the common people.
Definitely. And I know in my research, which is just my personal assessment, my educated guess from how many different things I've read, I would say a number of 71 CEOs have stepped down from major companies
Oh,
since they've announced the indictment on Sean Puffy Combs. And
it's
as far as the, that's it's crazy, bro, because it's not even just like it's only record labels or something. I mean, they're stepping down from Nike.
yeah,
Like, boy, what you was doing at the party? Like,
yeah,
oh my God, crazy. Because I mean that will be a cause and effect because it will deter. CEOs, they deal with how you see merchandise, they deal with how you pay for your merchandise, they deal with how they deal with their pricing for their consumers annually and things like that. So, and there will be a lot of people who may not even be fit for the actual job that will be in that spot because they cannot leave it open. So we can look to see the effects of it. We might be just walking around like, oh, okay, yeah, it's the CEO of this label or whatever, and it's not a big deal. But it is a big deal when it comes to Nikes when you're already paying $250 for sneakers for your 7 year old, and next year they'll be $450 because their deficit is come breaking down and their shares aren't being purchased. You know what I'm saying? Like there'll be a number of different things that
yeah.
happen with these losses of these CEOs. Same thing when it comes to this voting with Trump and Harris.
Right.
It's going to be an all-out war because first of all, they're going to be pissed if she wins, and they're going to be pissed if he wins. So we're
Right.
just going to be waiting for them to tell us which one of the evils is going to be in charge.
Exactly.
Honestly.
Exactly. I'll know how to way to maneuver and how to like do things, do this this voting, do this whole thing with when it comes out to for this election. I think that people are going to actually like they're going to go one way or the other, and then we're going to see how things going to turn out, the aftermath of
Hmm.
whoever gets elected. So for me, I'm more like it's going to be what it is. Yes, I am going to vote, but at the same time, I'm like, if people don't want to do their part, you can't really act like, well, this is going to happen, or I'm not going to do this because this is happening. If you don't do something, then you're going to find yourself in the same situation, regardless who you go to. And we do need the independent, somewhere. We do need
Hmm.
that third party is somewhere. Independence is there. We just need that person that we can rally around, and we can take out the lesser two evils. How
I
about
mean,
that?
well, Cornell West is running for president.
All right,
He's running. It's
right,
happening. It's just he doesn't have the major backing like the other two, so they're not pushing his stuff out like that. And God forbid if they actually let him be president. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, they'll be in a mess of trouble, honey. Oh God, they would be. But I mean, he's there. He's valid. You know what I'm saying? So he's still keeping hope alive and
all
got the
right,
power for the people from the roots. So I mean, at least his presence is felt. You know what I'm saying? So if he don't get the victory, at least they can't dismiss him. So we're blessed for that. But you
yeah,
guys, as we gear up for this voting and everything else that's happening in the world, we do want to thank you guys for consistently showing up for us in support of Newman and Stout.
true.
So you guys stay tuned to Industry Ties with myself, Tiasia Newman, and my guy, Kenneth Stout, powered by Total Entertainment. And we will be right back to you guys after these messages.
All right, all right. Welcome back to Total Entertainment Radio. Industry Ties in the house. Your man, Mr. Stout. Also with Tiasia Newman. Got some more great information for you guys, and we'll talk about it right now.
Yes, Justin Johnson has been sentenced to life in prison for the murder of Memphis rapper Young Dolph. On November 17, 2021, Adolph Thornton was Adolph Thornton Jr. was gunned down in front of Makita's Cookies and on Airway Highway in Memphis. Johnson claimed he only received $500 of the $100,000 payoff for Dolph's murder. And now they were actually in court, literally telling on each other. So
Wow.
this young man, Justin, has just sacrificed the rest of his life for $500 that he could have made standing in front of the damn cookie store. I mean, let's just be real.
Yeah, I mean, but even with that story, because it was a huge case, it was a national international case. I remember when it was going down. I remember when I seen what they had. We was actually like my wifey Patricia and Goins, man. I remember she was like really watching what the whole case was, how different things were happening, the shooters, people who had different cameras from different angles. Like I remember seeing like all the different things that was happening with that, and this man only got $500. I'm saying that he was set up by who? Like who set that up for to
Who
give him
was
one
the
hundred fifty dollars, $150,000 to
another somebody else that had that kind of bread? I don't know the exact name of the person. I'm sure it was revealed in the trial, but I
yeah
did not watch it. Um, but he was killed in his city. You know what I'm saying? So regardless to whomever paid the money for the actual hit, it's more about crabs in a barrel mentality. Instead of
yeah
you holding up your town hero, y'all decided that he should die and in his own city. There's no reason why anybody that was in Memphis didn't actually tear that city apart to find out who took that man's life. I mean, come on, bro.
I had so many questions once I seen what was going on with that, and like they never spoken to the people in the cookie store.
I,
And
I I don't know that that's still the case just because the trial has already happened.
yeah,
So like probably early on in the investigation, but I doubt that the people inside were not called as witnesses. Like I'm sure
yeah, I
that
guess they
they
want to
had.
be anonymous. Yeah, I get
Mhm.
that part. Yeah. um but
But
yeah, that is the crabs in the barrel thing. That's facts for that right there. For something like for somebody who's an artist that had an impact on his city. Why would you
yeah,
want to tear that down? Why would you want to build that up?
right. And then too, it goes another conspiracy theory. We'll just call it a conspiracy theory that went into the death of young Dolph was that he was signed to Empire Records, and we all know
Yeah.
the fate of artists signed to Empire Records. So
That's even with that storyline for that right there. Like some people who had Empire Distribution. I was one of the artists who actually worked with them from that. I never really was deep enough to be like to who like the CEOs or the heads of people, stuff like that. But then your deal can get shopped around for distribution to somewhere else. I think
mhm.
that Dolph was doing his own thing. So they've
Yeah,
been after him from a while ago. I think he was in an incident out there in LA or something like that, like, a few years prior to, like, I don't know, like the timeline, but he was into something out there back then. Or somebody shot up his car, something. He may have had bulletproof windows. Like he was in some sort of mess with the people who were hating on him from way back because of who he was
yeah.
doing. So then as he started to really get a grip of where he was going, they just like, took away to try to shut him down. It's other people's names that's a part of it. That's like, it's not necessary to like really talk about who these people are, just like, but in their city they know, like, it's
Mhm.
so that kind of thing. When it goes to the industry, I'm just like kind of like we're done with that. Like it's time to get, like, to get a little bit stronger and stop trying to shut everybody down.
Yeah, but I definitely know that, the strategy as far as that, because when it comes to Empire Record, that's more, it's not to say that they did anything to have him killed. It's about the strategy that they use when it comes to the artists that they choose to sign.
Yeah,
They
that part. Yeah.
particularly seek out artists who did have a very dangerous street life, and then they do give them tons of money, and they put insurance policies on them in case of their
Yeah.
death, and they choose people who are more likely to die by the gun. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a big difference between um Tupac Shakur and Suge Knight. Tupac Shakur was not a street dude, okay?
No.
He might have did a little bit of hustling, but Tupac still went to the school of arts, you know what I'm saying? He was highly intelligent. He was not no street guy. Now, he got wrapped up with Suge Knight, who was a street guy, and they didn't protect him from the street life. They offered him up as a sacrifice. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. Nobody can tell me anything different. That's exactly what they did. And I feel like that speaks is a testament to the strategy that Empire Record used when it comes to them signing their artists. They particularly choose artists that are deep in the street life. They give them a ton of money that they know they have no money management skills.
Yeah.
And then they know that they are likely to die by the gun. And when they're dumb enough to actually do it, they benefit from it because they have insurance policies from them. And I
Wow.
also know that young Dolph did actually own his masters. Um, and so his family will still be well taken care of. His sister did do a press conference this morning and asked that we, the public, remember her brother for the art that he was able to give the world, and not for the devastation surrounding his untimely death. So
Yeah.
we do want to remember young Dolph and the music that he was able to give to a
Yeah,
generation.
dog. Big up, man.
Definitely. So we do want to take some time. You
Yeah.
guys make sure you stay tuned with us on Industry Ties with myself, Tiasia Newman, and my guy, Mr. Stout, powered by Total Entertainment
Yeah.
Radio. We'll be right
Yeah.
back to you.
Oh, welcome back, everybody. All right. Right here on Total Entertainment Radio on Industry Ties with your man, Mr. Stout and Tiasia Newman. Got some more information for you guys going on?
Yes, there's been such a fuss with Fashion Week. I know that Cardi B just did just have the baby, and she still was at the
Yeah.
musical show looking so amazing. This lady, she's
Yeah.
just so crazy. But with all that being said, we do have supermodel Naomi Campbell, and I'm going to be giving you guys this straight from the Shade Room. Supermodel Naomi Campbell has been removed as a trustee from her charity, Fashion for Relief, following an investigation that uncovered serious financial mismanagement. According to The Guardian, a watchdog inquiry revealed significant misconduct, showing tens of thousands of pounds spent on luxury hotels,
Wow.
spa treatments, cigarettes, and personal security for Campbell. Additionally, hundreds of thousands of pounds were transferred to another trustee. The charity commission recovered $384,297 and safeguarded $109,480 from the Fashion for Relief, which was donated to other organizations to settle the liabilities. Naomi Campbell, who founded the charity in 2025, inspired by Nelson Mandela, is barred from the charity's board in England and Wales for 5 years following her removal from from the charity's register. So
Yeah, you said
my
2025. What year? Because it's 2025 is next year.
No, I meant 2005. It was founded
Okay.
in 2005. But now this is messy. First of all, Naomi Campbell doesn't have the best reputation as far as being a kind of I don't know what kind of word we want to use for Naomi Campbell. I mean, well, we could call it what it is. They
She's
she's
feisty.
a, yeah, feisty fine, that works too.
Right.
Or a diva, that's what you
Yes, she
call
is.
them,
Yeah.
a diva. But yeah, she we all know that she does, she's in the industry. I
Accolades
don't
say it
understand
galore.
why
Yeah.
she's using money from her charity to have luxury gifts when she is one of the biggest supermodels to ever live. So I don't understand why like her hotel rooms and her luxury items should be being copped. Why is she even paying for luxury items? She's Naomi Campbell. I'm confused. Um, I
Is
think
her
the
name
saddest
still
part.
there? Yeah. Is that is the name of her? Like, I thought she did have a lot of different things going on. Her name goes very far, but in business, in modern time business, like who's in the control of the reins of the ones who used to be the gatekeepers who made her who she is now. So has that might have changed as a guard for that?
Absolutely not. No way. Naomi Campbell is still on every runway. Period.
All right.
She's still on all the runways. She's very much so herself today. Like her and Luxury Law actually just got into, like, they had to, like, Luxury Law tried to put out a little disclaimer after her and Luxury Law were seen seemingly throwing shade at Rihanna during a New York Fashion Week show. But the thing is that you hate that they can write that she was inspired by Nelson Mandela in the same time saying that she's stealing money. Because again, it is another way to put out the narrative. And mind you, the neighborhood, I mean, the Shade Room, I mean, it's a black owned
Yeah. The platform.
outlet. So I'm
Yeah,
confused why they would even like mention Nelson Mandela with the amount of scrutiny that like I don't know. It's
yeah,
weird,
yeah.
but
That seems pretty deep right there. Wow, man. Well,
yeah. So we hate to hear that she's got anything doing the wrong thing because it's supposed to be her doing something positive and pouring back into the industry that she has already made millions and millions of dollars in. So I don't understand
is
what
that
the purpose
like
was.
that parachute thing we were talking about like earlier? Like well, not even a parachute. Like build people up and find a way they can take them down. Like people should be able to build wealth off of the things that, as long as she's been in this industry and working the thing, her name, her brand.
Right,
It's legendary. In this lifetime now. So it's like you you're looking forward to her to be something that you want her to be, but that's not the way she took to things, because yeah, we know she was a bad girl, she's a badass, but she also was a
yeah,
businesswoman, so you can't
right,
take those things away from her for who she is, because that's why, like, oh well, you can't do what we need you to do, then we will do these things, we'll tear you down. And we're seeing that
right.
in a lot of the part of the industry right now, which is just, it's sad, but hey, we
I
gotta
mean,
get.
I think that there are so many things of the past that are showing themselves true these days, but also, showing themselves false. So it's just like we're relearning. I feel like, I
Yeah.
never understood to get to the age of 37 and have to like do the knowledge to so many things I need to unlearn because it was never fitting for who I actually am, the
How
person,
about that? Yeah.
like
Yeah.
just things that were given, these concepts that were given to me as if they were my own and it had absolutely nothing to do with my
Not at all.
experience. So it's weird. um Another thing that was famously said is that if you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book. Well, in 2024 they are wrapping that up and putting it out the window because Kim Porter's, in the name of the book is Kim's Words, A Journey for Justice
Yeah.
from the Other Side, was released on Amazon on September 6th, and it is now a bestseller. The
Wow.
60-page book was published by Chris Todd, who is an LA producer. He claims the book's details are from a flash drive Porter gave to her friends in case of her death. The memoir is unauthorized and was released under the pen name Jamal T. Millwood, who is listed as a co-writer to Porter. Kim Porter passed away in November of 2018. She was the mother of four children. One, her oldest son with Albie Shore, and the remaining three are with now defamed rapper P. Diddy. But the book is flying off the shelves, and
I listened to it. Yeah. I listened to the
yeah,
audio.
it's crazy.
I
Um,
there's a lot. I mean, if you listen to it or you read it, people's opinions are going to be, if those who was like, I've heard these things, and then people who know these things, you know, and what, what part of it is like in a courtroom, are they going to, like, bring that to the trial? Is it going to be admitted to that? I think this case is going to be such a huge, uh, sensationalized type of situation that it's going to be, you know, uh, as big as other trials that was out there, OJ Simpson type of thing, like, because everybody's going to want to know what the truth and how bad this man really was doing things, but not just him. It's a global situation that's happening with people, like, we're going to know what's going on with you as well, behind
right.
the scenes of all of it. And then this young lady, beyond, her demise, is still speaking her truth. Whoever's doing it, if this guy is the conduit for that, all right, do the nonsense. Like, this is that part. He's the one who's going to say that this is what's been happening, and all of those things that was written. There's got to be a certain degree of truth that's into that. She
Uh,
wouldn't have
it,
said
it,
that.
I mean, we hope that it is, but the family has actually released a statement saying that the book is not authorized. Actually,
Right.
I'll be sure did speak out on it and said that he felt like it was a tool to tarnish her legacy, and that they're going to be taking legal action to have it removed. But my thing is this. Okay, yeah, sure. I'll be sure said that it wasn't actually her book. We don't trust him. The book says that he was sleeping with Diddy. So that's something he would want to, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
defame
he's
or
from
take
what he's
the
from.
credit
Yeah,
from. Now, I need Kamora Lee to say something. You know what I mean? Because Kamora Lee was her best friend. If Kamora Lee ain't said yet, because she is a vocal person, she don't have no problem getting on social media and saying whatever it is she feel like saying. So the fact that Kamora Lee has not come forward and said that the book is not real, I kind of believe that it might have some kind of merit to it. It doesn't have to be true. I could write a book and say it was from Kim Porter. I have that kind of imagination. I could take the time to look up everything that happened in the timeline of P. Diddy and
yes,
find out facts and write salacious comments that make it seem like I'm speaking facts. I can do that. I'm gifted to do it.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So all it takes
That
is
might be
somebody who's actually
right.
right,
And that might be the case to
right. So
sensationalize something like that's what the key word I was using because I like I said I didn't read it. I listened to it and it was just like it's only what like 60 pages something like that or
yeah,
it's not that
60
much.
pages.
Yeah. So like I said, I listened to it and it was like, all right, it was more like, oh, that's shocking, probably shock value compared to, all right, this is something that you heard, and through the grapevine, without
Yeah,
knowing. Like I don't know the camp, anything like that. I don't know the man. I don't know. Like these are things that you hear that just they get released. You know.
right. Well, we will say that the one issue we can have is that I think the name that they chose to write under it, I feel some kind of way about that. Like the fact that they chose the name Jamal. Like
Yeah.
I
Well.
don't know if Chris Todd is black or white, but I do know that it was a strategy behind the name Jamal Millwood. You know what I'm saying? Because it's about a black woman. And so they chose a name that sounds like it's a black author to get
Yeah.
more sales with the black community, you
Wow.
know? But
Yeah.
no, come on.
Yeah. You're
They
right.
definitely did
Right.
that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, and then I also feel like it's mighty funny. Kim Porter has passed away in 2018. So
Yeah.
why is it that the book that she's been given to her friends to actually, you know what I'm saying, bring some justice to her? Why is it that it's just released in September, the year after he's been getting all these civil suits? Why
Yeah.
are they just now putting this out?
Yeah, like
It's weird.
the add to his, yeah, the add to the whole case. Like, what part of it? See, the public opinion is a real thing. People, their opinions can make a certain thing happen for one thing or not. Like when it goes to justice. So people are going to think, well, if they read that book, then they're already demonizing this man for what the things that may or may not have happened or was true or not true. You're only going to
Right.
go off of the things that you're going to hear. That's like once they release, this indictment information, then you're going to try to put two to two together. Say, oh, he was doing this. Not the things they were saying that he was doing. That was if it was legal, if he was doing things that were sexual and it was legal. Okay, that's just going to be whatever the shame if you want to shame him. But the things that he was doing that was delinquent, that was against the law, then that's the things they need to pull out to see what was that. This book should not make you determine if he was, you know, you know, legal or not. Like, you know what I mean? Like that kind of situation is going to make guilty or innocent, but that kind of situation is going to make it seem like as if, he's, people going to say, well, he's already a bad person because this, that, and the third. But if the things that they're already putting out there amongst that information, if it's true, it's a lot of people is going to like what we know for not just hip hop. I'll say rap music, not hip hop. Hip hop is going to be hip hop, but the rap industry is going to completely change. Even with the fashion, the way that people do a certain type of like when you get sponsorships, all that stuff is going to change. Like it's going to be so different. You're going to have something that's like, because even with Kanye, right, we don't see Kanye right now. Like he's looking through the blind right now. He's like, he's nowhere to be found right now if you see what's going on with all this stuff. But everybody who knew this man knows something of this man or who's been around this man throughout the
Yeah.
35 years, you know what I mean, of his, of his reign in the industry. And so to me, it's like a lot of things going to come out, but I'm going to just look at it like, and not to be like, oh, this is so shocking or this like that. Like it has, it's just not hip hop to me. So
I mean, in reality, no matter how much we don't want to talk about it, from the beginning, P. Diddy came on the scene a hellstorm
Yeah,
because
with a
the
horse.
first thing that he did was an event at City College in New York City
That's
in
right.
partnership with Heavy D. They
Yeah.
had too many people coming there and
Oh
nine
yeah.
people were killed. He was
Yes.
sued all over the place for
That's
wrongful death
right.
suits.
That's right.
It told itself before he even got into the majors. He was still an intern
Yes.
when that happened. So I mean, it's just like I said, I'll say it every time. The revolution has been and is absolutely being televised. It's just that you don't know what you're
Right.
looking for. You're not paying attention to the right thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's a distraction. There's a ton of distractions. Those distraction comes in the form of how big his house is, what kind of car he's driving, how many baguettes is around his necks, how fast is his wave spinning, and which girl is he sleeping with tonight,
Hmm.
or guy, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it's the truth. Um, but yeah, guys, we are so happy that you guys are joining us.
Yeah.
Please let us know what you guys think at the bottom down in the comments, or you guys can email us, DM us at Industry Ties on Instagram or Facebook. And you can email us at industryties.info on Gmail to let us know how you guys feel about the conversations that we're having here. And you guys can look to be right back to us with myself, Tiasia Newman, and my guy, Kenneth Stout, on Total Entertainment Radio. We'll be right back to you.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Total Entertainment Radio, Industry Ties. Your man, Mr. Stout, Kenneth Stout, also Tiasia Newman. We in the house. Get into a couple things. What's going on in this industry, man? Wow.
Well, it looks like the same old song is being sung by Beyonce Knowles. We all know that Beyonce Knowles is one of the biggest stars to ever walk this earth. But I tell you, it has to be a part of this lady's experience or calling to suffer the ignorance of the industry that she sacrificed her life for. Um, this is coming straight from Neighborhood Talk. Beyonce did not clean up at this artist's People's Choice Country Awards, despite being the most nominated female artist with 17 nominations. The voting based award show took place this past Thursday, but the singer failed to snag any trophies. B was nominated for categories like People's Artist, Album of the Year, Song of the Year, and Female Artist of the Year. Now, Beyonce was nominated for her recent work on Cowboy Carter, which was a huge commercial success.
Yeah.
But it's looking like the award shows are not feeling it. This is coming just weeks after she was noticeably snubbed at the Country Music Awards after receiving no nominations. Now, although Beyonce didn't earn any wins, her name always rings bells, and her fellow collaborator Shabuzi actually shouted her out during his acceptance speech. So, I mean, I don't think, you know, God, this craziness. It's
It's
like it gives
country.
it's right.
It's so much unpacked right there for that, but I think that
Right.
she would still win at the end of the day. That the like, has there ever been a black woman that's gotten a country music award? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just asking as a question. Like, is that a thing?
Um,
You know?
I think yes, I think there is one woman who did, and I think it recently happened with a song that was out for like years. I can't think of her name right now, but I do believe that there is one. Um, but the disservice that's done to this lady,
Yeah.
okay, especially as an artist, is back to the same situation with like Angela Bassett. It's back to Jay-Z standing up and saying, "Let's get it right." They cannot appreciate the fact that she's able to dance between genres like this. Who
Yeah.
else now? Michael Jackson,
Michael Jackson.
Whitney
Yeah.
Houston, Luther Vandross.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, they all had these amazing superstar careers, but none of them danced outside of their genre. Okay, Whitney Houston was not giving us an EDM album. Luther Vandross was
Yeah.
not getting ready to do a rock album. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Michael Jackson dealt with pop. They did not. He didn't go disco. You know what I'm saying? They did not
He
travel
can't disco.
outside of their. Oh, did he?
Yeah, he changed up like for
Oh,
like
my bad.
5 decades of different
My bad.
style. Like, yeah, Michael Jackson
No,
was
don't let me
one of
be
those
wrong
guys.
about Michael, because
Like,
my
I
son
just
named
be,
Michael Stout.
yeah, yeah.
My
Just
bad.
saying, he really
But
did change up every decade of different type of music for sure.
Okay,
I
perfect.
think Beyonce
So
was trying to get to that thing, like, let me try something that will work because that's a part of her roots. Like
yeah,
I
but
didn't grow up listening to country music, but when I hear it, I'm like now. Well, at one time, like I didn't understand it, I didn't like it, but now, like when I listen to it, I'm like I can associate certain things with it because I hear the chords and it's blues and all that stuff. So it was like I get it.
yeah, but the real robbery is that we all know why Beyonce doesn't actually do interviews. People think it's because she wants to have a private life. No. When Beyonce first came out, she was too country for everybody. Everybody had so much to say about her. They like, didn't like her accent. They didn't like that she was so country. They didn't like that she was, you know what I'm saying, a down home girl from Texas.
Yeah,
And now y'all have the audacity to tell her she can't do country music. First of all, let's just be very clear. Country music and every genre of music started with black roots, okay?
indeed.
Anybody that's dealing with any genre of music, I don't care what it is and what the face of that genre of music from, it came from black people, period.
Wow,
So she has every right
concrete.
to make country. Come on.
It is. It definitely is, but it's an infusion. We haven't. We definitely created every American style of
No,
outside of
if music
yeah
came out the country, who in the country, now let's say if we're in South Carolina, who in South Carolina felt enough pain that they would sing about having the fucking blues? You could
yeah
not tell me that
yeah
that wasn't a black person
oh
down
yeah
here sweating gang members going through all kind of hell, still using alchemy and creating this situation for themselves where they could make the best out of what it was that they had going on. They
right
chose to pick up a pen and paper, pat their foot on the ground, and create a beat, and they created country music. It's about your location and the sound of it. That can't,
yeah
come on.
right the region
We're
yeah
not doing it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Come on. Like, if even if you're looking at it from the perspective, which is where we kind of want to keep it, is her having the respect of her peers for her abilities and what she can do with her gift of music.
right
That's where Beyonce knows is consistently robbed. But I think that her greatest quality is probably being able to, of course, clap for herself. She's able to
yeah
conquer things that she puts in line for herself. If she was a young girl and she admired Dolly Parton, the fact that she was able to work hard enough to be able to remake her music is successful for her. You know what I'm
yeah
saying? It's what made her, you know what I'm saying, even acknowledge her gifts. So it's just like, I don't know. I feel like they're like a, I don't know. I don't know how people
I
like
get
hate
it
on Beyonce or like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just like her tenacity as an artist. You tell me
yeah I
who
seen it perform
else in 2024 right now is giving us full bodies of work that's not from the generation of Beyonce, Brandy, Monica, Usher.
yeah
Like those artists are the ones who are still to this day giving us full bodies of work. These artists are giving us songs that are 2 minutes and 47 seconds. Before you can even decide what the hook is, the song is over. Okay. They're giving us fast music. They're not even giving us actual visuals. You know what I'm saying? They're giving
yeah
visualizers of a photo and then this whole song plays. They never
yeah
even create the narrative of the story that they're trying to tell to create this
right you're missing
relationship
that
with their
yeah
audience that they're supposed
right
to have in order to be sustained in this industry through generations.
be fully creative and all that. If you watch those videos from back in the day and stuff like that, like people were using whatever they could to make a video look like something. So now the technology you guys got, you don't have to just be in front of you like a house with 20 people just dancing and bumping to your joint. That's played out. That's been done 25 years ago, 20 years ago. Like it's a
Definitely.
been done thing. So think outside the box a little bit more and try to come to like to be creative. What's out there, what's in your world, and start to like find ways to make some things come out of it like that people are like yo I can dig this like it looks like something compared to it looks like the ordinary or everyday thing that you see or hear yeah
Right. Yeah, I just know I'm an advocate for Beyonce. Even if she doesn't need me to be an advocate for her, I am just because I am an
my
artist.
little
And you
sister
know what
I
it
love what
means
she's been
to
doing
be an artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this
for
lady,
years
come on, like she sacrificed her
yeah
whole life. You know, when Whitney Houston died, and her mother announced that her funeral was not going to be open to the public, she said, my daughter gave y'all her life. We
yeah
would like to have her in her death.
yeah
Like, because you don't even think about the sacrifices made for the artist who is actually giving you a soundtrack to your life, who is
Yep.
actually singing you out the bathtub
Yep.
instead of you putting your head under the water. You know what I'm saying? That same artist that saved your life, they only were able to do that because they found their own life at risk that many times. If Beyonce Knowles could sing you out of a depression, that means that she had to learn how to operate in one,
Wow.
same as everybody else. You know what I mean? So it's a bit of a disgrace,
Yeah. Like they
actually.
definitely got, and she's still going to be known for those things that she's done. I know that record done sold a lot of copies. It was played on the album was played on a lot of different platforms and things like that. So um, her biggest fans and followers are definitely going to like support what she's doing.
Definitely. But it's more about, it's really not about it's about everybody understanding how they're mistreating the artist, how they're overexposing them, and how they're actually capable of killing them if they're not careful, how they say things like,
Yeah.
you know, we have
Yeah.
to be mindful. And really, the only way that people will become back into that space of being more mindful of the artist is to create that line again. You know what I'm saying? We
Right.
had a line that we weren't able to cross back then. And it's just like there has to be a line, bro. Because it's just like you want people to be artists, but you don't want to deal with an artist, right? Like people want P. Diddy and R. Kelly and all these people to be amazing artists that give you all this music, but you don't want to acknowledge the fact that when you have gifts like that in the music business, the demon of being over sexualized,
Yeah.
or the demon of the spirit or energy, whatever you want to call it, of homosexuality and things,
Yep.
they go hand in hand with the very gifts that you expect them and want to exploit them for, but you hate them because they actually have to deal with
Right.
it. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah. Yep. And that right there is one of the reasons why I'm just always going to be one of those artists just write just for myself. You know what I mean? I'll put some things out
Right,
there, but it's never going to be. I do it for people who can catch my drift. So
right.
yeah,
Right. Definitely for your energy. You don't
yeah,
have yourself in that kind of energy. But Kenneth, if you spent too much time, baby, in the generation and your intentions was moving the way there was, theirs are, you're not gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's not too far behind because that's what the industry is built off of.
yeah.
That's why we were never engulfed in the energy because it didn't match our energy. We were
Right.
saved for the time when it's out the door. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? We were
Yep.
able to operate in it fully,
Facts.
yes, but we were saved for, we were never secret, we were sacred,
True indeed. It's peace.
reserved just for a time that's getting ready to come right
No
now.
cause
It's time.
that.
Yes.
That's what it is. Come get
Hmm.
some. That's right.
Right,
You hearing this fresh right there on Industry Ties, right here on Total Entertainment Radio. All right. Are we going to
yes,
take another
guys.
break? Or are we going
No,
to?
we should be wrapping for the
All
evening.
right. Oh yeah, okay. Well, yeah, this is great, man. I love to be on this line so and talk to everybody. Definitely hit us up on you said at Industry Ties on IG, right?
Hmm.
First name
Yep, and
Marley,
Facebook.
And
last name
also on
Evans.
Facebook as well.
Underappreciated, but
Yeah,
I'm
hit
still the
us up,
most
man. I mean,
respected.
I
My
love to talk to you
insecurity is
guys,
the
and
fear of being rejected.
send
When
us
you
send us a line.
disregard, they leave
I
you
want
with
to
an
do some of the reviews
erection.
of some people's
For
songs
the
too,
Drake and
a
for the
quick
rap
snippet,
about
and
affection.
we have like a little
There I
segment,
go, hard to rap without a
to put them in
message.
there. What you
My
think?
biggest flex is I can
Yeah,
stand for
whatever
what
you
I
want to do,
did.
baby.
Yeah, we can
Never
try
Try
faked
something.
something.
anything to call it
Yeah.
Yeah,
how I
like
lived.
yeah.
I ain't no
Send us a
millionaire.
thing on
I ain't no
Instagram, and
real
send us
don't
a little
shoot.
clip of
They
something
talk
of your
with they
music or
fists
whatever,
on. Lose
or we
some,
can
win
actually
some.
like
Live
if you
another
want to
10,
sing or
20,
something,
30,
we'll
40,
put it in
50.
there
It
on
ain't
one of our
worth
breaks
doing the bid.
that we have right
Advice
here
I
on Total
give.
Entertainment
How I'm underpaid with a
Radio, right here.
motherfucker like
What
me is
on?
nice like this. Body
I'm
right, right.
sorry,
I
on
should
Industry
wake
Ties.
up
I
and
got so many
Jacob
things written
make what
down,
they
and I'm
make
wearing
and drop
shades.
Right.
it
Like,
4.6. I was right.
but it's great though. I swear it's
Y'all
gonna
do
be
some rock
it's gonna be
stepping.
so
I
fun to
do
have
back
everybody like some
asteroids.
people to talk to
Y'all
and make some
crazy.
things happen and let people get this information that is so necessary.
I spit that. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
definitely. I
Rearrange the
think it also
motives.
helps
This
that
for the
they are able to
culture.
see
It's that
that we
rap.
are
That rap
actually artists that are
underexposed
super
to
zany.
almost
We
went
have a hundred
MIA on
Right.
me.
thoughts
Like
to
Lauren,
our
I was
brains
put
at
the light
a
like
Facts.
time.
yoga in a foreign
And we are
Capricorn.
actually
I
real
finally
people.
went psycho.
No matter
Janae
what
Aiko.
conclusion you
It's gonna
draw
be
to,
2K only
in
way
the
these
days
two
to
new
come,
little brothers
when
could ever
we,
play, huh?
we grow our
Industry
audience,
plants,
we
I
do
eat 'em
want
like
everybody to
Dr. Seuss.
understand that we are
Yo, I
artists
went
just like them.
basic, I
And just
be in
like,
the
because
race.
everybody is
If
art,
I
you know
had
what I'm
to pick,
saying?
I
And
be in the
everyone
great
is an
debate.
artist.
Just
There
call
is
me
an
picky.
artist living
Y'all
inside of
like
all
me
of
the
us.
way. That's
And
my
we want to
pride
help you
talking
identify
insecurities.
it.
I face
Um,
scars like
and
Omar
so
coming to
that
my rap
includes
back.
us
Took bigger
making
steps than
mistakes
Kodak.
and
Pushed the Mount
fumbling over
Everest
our
just to
words and
remind
saying
what my
the wrong
level is.
thing while
Rap
we're
back. They
completely
don't pay
overwhelmed
me at
with
the
our thought
level that I
process
rap
because
at.
we
Crazy.
are
They keeping it fit off
geniuses,
you, then they
actually.
act shady. I thought
Facts. Like
most of
going through
love
so
would come
much.
back
Like
from
so
my
much. The thought
ladies.
process glasses at one time. Like, let me make sure this going on. This going on. Yeah. So.
Right.
When I mention Jay-Z, y'all just mad cause he don't know y'all. Maybe.
Yeah. So you got anything that you want to let people know what's going on with you?
Nothing much, boo. I do have a show in Jersey City in partnership with Community Treasures. That's going to be on October 4th. We will be starting Scythe Nights out here in Asbury Park at Scythe Store on Main Street. We're going to have our first event on October 12th. And I think that's about it. If you guys want to get into the conversation with us, you can email us at industryties.info@gmail. And most importantly, remember, darling, the show must go on and in good fashion.
Yeah, come get some of that right there. Yeah, ditto. Love it, man. I can't wait till we get back on the air. We're going to have some more great things coming up. So, guys, definitely stay tuned and let somebody tell a friend.
Definitely. All right, we good to go to the future, my guy?
To the future.
All right, peace.
Thank you for tuning in to Industry Ties, hosted by Tiasia Newman and Mr. Stout. Tune in every Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at TotalENTRadio.com. Total Entertainment Radio. Come get some.